All right, my beautiful friends, sit back and relax because here we go. I mean, there is a lot going on this morning. And some other stuff I want to talk to you about, very important here. So, yes, it is Monday, November 7th, 2022. Let me start off with this. If you're following the action here in the debt market, you really, honestly should be concerned. Couple of things going on here. Right now, this morning, the 10-year yield is slightly higher. However, the dollar is a little lower, the relative strength of the dollar. Now, as you all know, there is a compensatory mechanism here. And with that, the MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, is sitting at 286. All it would take right now to send the global debt market into some kind of massive sell-off would be almost nothing. And I mean literally almost nothing. I've explained to you for years, the global debt market is a ticking time bomb. It is ticking faster. It is ticking louder. What did we find out? Or what did BlackRock say just a couple of weeks ago? That after the midterms, all hell could break loose. This isn't Greg Mannarino. This is BlackRock saying regarding the debt market, regarding the debt market, that all hell could break loose. I think they're right on target here. Absolutely. There is no doubt in my mind that we are on a hair trigger with regard to the global debt market. What do we know is going on? Fakery to the highest order. We have central banks, you and me are watching this in real time, using their reverse repo programs, passing vast amounts of cash back and forth between institutions overnight, trillions of dollars, to do one thing, to fake liquidity in an illiquid market. And in my view, honestly, I'm going to say it again, we are on a hair trigger, So keep your eye on global bond yields, 10-year yield, relative strength of the dollar, or honestly, I summed it all up for you in the MMRI, which now has a lovely chart on it. Actually, there's two charts. There's a longer-term trend chart, and if you look in the upper right corner, there's a 15-minute chart. So go check that out. Again, link in the description of this video. I really am concerned. I'm not lying. I'm not like, panicking here, but you need to have some concern here because, look, this debt market issue, it's not just a financial problem. You all know that here. We're stuck, you and me, under the thumb of central banks, and they're squeezing everyone to death. Speaking of that, so on the economic front, this is why Greg Mannarino blows off his stack once in a while. So food inflation continues to move higher unabated around the world, a global phenomenon. Worse in Europe here. And that's another thing. You're going to have energy. Energy, after Bidenstein's plan to sell off all of the strategic reserves, we just sold the last bit of it. All right, so energy prices going up. Food inflation is going to get, there's no end here. Okay, the Inflation Reduction Act, are you kidding me? Really? This is what they sell to people. No uproar. No uproar at all. People just sit there like, it's just insane to me, really. So, again, look, it's not really funny. I know I do these silly faces from time to time, or a lot. But the fact of the matter is, you and I have not seen a damn thing yet. I'll tell you something else that I feel is going to occur moving forward. The expansion of war. What is the one thing that generates more cash flow for the military-industrial complex than any other endeavor on Earth? I'm going to give you one guess. It's war. War and the expansion of war. Look, your life, my life, it's meaningless, absolutely meaningless in this environment. We understand the situation. What are central banks doing? They're working towards a final solution. Their final solution is to vastly, I'm going to say this one more time, vastly reduce the global population. They want to kill off as many people as they can here. Why? Control. Right now, I mean, they got, people don't do anything. They sit there, they're zombified, drones, but they're useless as this mechanism here to foster the greatest wealth transfer in the history of the world that we've ever seen. All right. Creating a two-tier society. You've known about this. I've been talking about this for 10 years. Okay. Extreme haves, extreme have-nots, wiping out an entire class of people. And to do this on a global level, they got to melt down or collapse the global economy and the global financial system to, again, fulfill their end game, to become the lenders and buyers of last resort. You all know this. It's out of control. Out of freaking control here. So with inflation here, you're going to hear the same dog shit fake narrative about rates. Central banks are going to raise rates. They're serious about doing something about inflation, which has been the biggest lie in the history, I think, honestly, of the financial world. There's nothing worse in my view, because this has never, ever, 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 ever been a rate problem. It's a currency problem. Let me tell you something else about that. All right, I've explained to all of you, we've talked about it right here on this blog, that we were going to see global currencies continue to balloon. We are right now at this moment in what is the greatest global currency expansion cycle the world has ever seen. Central banks continue to inflate the money supply greater and greater and greater. And there's the issue. Again, there's the root cause of the problem for inflation. It's this vast expansion of the global cash pool. Okay, it's not money, it's cash pool, currency pool, and that's diluting the value of the currencies. This is what central banks are doing right in everyone's freaking face. No one's talking about it. Do you think for a nanosecond, I love that word, I don't know why I like it. Do you think, honestly, for any length of time, that you're going to hear from the mainstream propaganda how we are in some type of twisted currency expansion cycle? And that's the problem. That's why we're seeing global inflation. That's why we're seeing food inflation continue to go on unabated. This is this morning. And energy costs, which are going to continue to rise into stratospheric heights. I mean, I'm telling you, my European friends, listen to me. Listen to Greg Mannarino, because I got your back. Okay, I got everybody's back. But I'm seeing here, and I'm hearing from more and more and more of my European friends. And they continue to tell me the same thing. Everybody, all right? That, Greg, you think things are bad in the United States? You haven't seen nothing, all right? They're like, come over here. My European friends are getting crushed, absolutely crushed. The European Central Bank, they're your enemy. They're destroying you, just like the Federal Reserve is destroying all of us. These two central banks, bar none, are working together in tandem to crush the citizens of these areas of the world. And other central banks, they're all on the same page. All right. And the lie, this is a rate problem. It's a currency expansion problem. And they're not going to stop. Why? Why are central banks not going to stop? Because what is the goal of every single freak show central bank? To continue to inflate. I really want to know. Let me ask you this. Honestly, we're friends, right? We can talk about anything. Okay. When do you think a single, just one, mainstream media outlet is going to start talking about this? Or do you think it's just never, ever going to happen? They've been silenced. What do you think about that? In my view, they will never do it. Never. They just can't allow people to know the truth. It's the same story that I've told you since I started out here over a decade ago. Look here. Look at this. This is the problem. Do not look over here. This has got to be the biggest deception in the history of the world. I'm dead serious here, because central banks are pushing the entire population towards an implosion here in the debt market. And this is the greatest threat to human life. A resource problem, pandemonium in the streets, a locking up. Really, none of this is by accident. It's being driven that way by central banks who are going to inflate the money supply like you can't even believe. And that's the root cause of inflation. But no, it's the Inflation Reduction Act that's going to help everyone. Ex-Bidenstein or Pelosi. Oh, they're going to tell you the truth, because they would never lie to you. Would a central banker ever lie to you? Of course not, because they have your best interest in mind. You know they do, right? unbelievable. All right, look. So here's the situation. MMR right now is sitting at 286. You got the 10-year yield 4.16 last time I looked at it. US dollar under some pressure. Gold and silver aren't doing anything too fancy right now. You got cryptocurrencies under some pressure. Energy, crude oil roughly flat. That's going to change in my view, especially with Bidenstein selling off the last of the strategic reserve. So keep your eyes on these things, all right? Keep your eyes on these things, people. I sit here and I try to sketch these things out for you, all right? Raise your awareness. Pay attention to what's going on. Look for expanding war, okay? This is a big one, in my view, because, again, no other endeavor on the planet Earth generates more cash flow for the military-industrial complex than war, expanding war. They don't care how many people they have to kill, slaughter, maim, how many lives they have to destroy. They don't care. You understand what I'm talking about? I hope you do. Really, I really, really do. All right, people. I was just writing a few things down, but I think I covered this here. One more thing I forgot to cover, but let me just cover this real quick. So, nations around the world exports. Well, they're cratering, and this is a big sign of what I have been explaining and what we have discussed right here. The global economy is in free fall. They're going to tell you the polar opposite, all right? Economy is strong. We're booming. We're doing great. It's a lie. It's a massive lie, and you know that. And the bigger the lie, and the more they keep pushing that narrative, I guess the more people are going to believe it. I don't know, people. Look, I want to hear from you. Please comment about this stuff I have spoken about here. Share this video, get it out there as far and wide as you possibly can. And for those of you that do follow the Mannarino market risk indicator, there's not another one like it on the planet Earth. This is the best market risk indicator that you're ever going to find. With the changes there, with the charts, like I said, in the upper right-hand corner, 15-minute chart, and there's also a chart of a longer-term trend. What do you think about that? I promise to read the comments. So click on that link down here. Say, hey, Greg, you know what? Your MMRI sucks. Oh, I like it. It's going to help me out. I want this to be as simple for you as we don't have to guess here, people. All right. Once the MMRI breaks 300, and according to BlackRock, all hell's about to break loose after the midterms. Let's see what they pull off here. But just like I said, be ready. Have the high ground. Always have the high ground. Please keep some cash around. It's very important. In the event of a lockup of the system here, a debt market meltdown, you always have to have a high ground. Non-perishables need to be in your repertoire, readily available. Look, this whole thing is on a knife's edge. We're on a hair trigger. We're on a hair trigger. Debt market here. And the debt market is the driver of everything, the economy, the financial markets, the financial system, all of it is hinging on what's going on over there. And there's clearly massive instability going on with this repo program, this yo-yo effect with regard to global bond yields. It's not normal. It's not supposed to do that. It's a big tell. It's a big tell. All right, people, this guy here loves you a lot. I gotta get going here. Share the video, comment, and let me know what you think. All right, I'll see you later.